excited to do this. So the flow of what we're going to do today is we're going to provide some PowerPoint presentation. We're going to go through some slides to give you some specifics about this really exciting new product. We'll stop and take some questions right after we finish that. And then right behind me and on, if you see my little second camera screen, we'll do some live demo too. So we'll actually get to touch, feel, play with this product in person for you in the second half of the webinar as well. So excited to share it with you. Wanted to introduce the other people on the line right now too. So first, at least at the bottom of my screen, is Petra Stanton. So Petra is kind of my partner in crime down here in Florida. We have worked on a few different virtual webinars together. We really enjoy doing this. So when I approached her and said, hey, we have this new product and we'd like to share it in a webinar, she was all in, and she's going to help moderate our Q&A today. So as you're sending in those questions, they might get answered right away via typing and written response, but Petra is going to help facilitate some of that live Q&A discussion, which is always so fun. Also on the line, we have Allison, who is our product manager, and this exciting new product has been her baby for the last couple of years. So she's really happy to be here, and you may see that she'll be chiming in over in that Q&A, helping to answer some of your questions. And then Shane is the lead engineer on this product too. So you'll see him chiming in with some answers over in that Q&A, and then they'll be able to, unmute and jump in and talk through that Q&A with us as well. So we're all really excited to be here with you today to share this information. I'm Sarah Haverstick. I think I did this yesterday too and forgot to introduce myself. So if I've not met you before, I am Sarah Haverstick. I am the safety advocate with Good Baby, and Evenflo is one of our car seat brands. I've been with the company for 9 years, and I've been a technician for 16 years now, and an instructor for most of those years. So talking child passenger safety is what I love. This makes me so happy. And when I say I love to brag about the work of our team, I don't think I can say that enough. So if you haven't seen myself or one of our engineers present about product development, we've done a number of CEU presentations on this in the past. And the thing that I want you to understand before we talk through this new product is product development takes time, y'all. And for a really complex car seat like one that we're going to go through today, we're talking 2+ years of development for this type of a product. So this is something that we've been working on behind the scenes for a really long time. And the team is just so excited to be able to now finally get to share it with you guys for real. And we can talk about it and we can answer those questions. And this has been a long time coming, but the team has done a really great job with this product. So it's really exciting to finally get to share these details with you. So with that, the exciting new product we're going to talk about today is the Evenflo Shyft Dualride, which is an infant car seat and stroller combination. So it's a really cool and innovative new product, and we're going to go again through lots of these details via slides, and then we'll share this in the live demo as well. So this product obviously starts as something that you can use as a typical infant car seat with a base in the vehicle, but then also transforms into an integrated stroller, which is a pretty cool and useful thing for families. One of the first things that I want to talk about is, over on the left-hand side of the screen where I include the product specs. We started this product at 3 pounds and 15.7 inches. And I'm going to talk a lot more about our work with kids with smaller infants and with low birth weight infants. But this was something that was really important to us. And I know because I saw everybody saying hello over in the chat, some of my partners in Florida are on the line now. We've been working directly with hospitals, bringing this product into NICUs to fit very small infants for a long time now. It feels like it's been a little bit forever, but that's something that we worked on throughout the development of this process because we really wanted to confirm that that small baby fit was going to be an option for this product. So huge thanks to the partners on the phone right now that were able to help us with that, because now we can see the whole product come to life, which is exciting. And I'll talk more about that low birth weight fit in a few minutes. Additionally, this product has 3 different tiers. So it comes in at 3 different price points with different features for each price point. We're going to talk through that at the end. However, what I'm going to share right now is basically features that are consistent across all of these tiers. So each of these products has an 8-position adjustable headrest, which is attached to a no rethread harness. So you're just raising and lowering that headrest to adjust the harness position for the infant. All of the versions of this, every tier comes with Sensor Safe. Sensor Safe is our technology that is incorporated into the chest clip on the product and communicates with an app on the consumer's phone. So they communicate with each other via Bluetooth, and they give some really important reminders and notifications. Like if the child were to unbuckle the chest clip during travel, you're going to get a notification that the chest clip is unbuckled. If the child has been unintentionally left behind in the vehicle, you're going to get a notification to that effect. You're going to get the ambient air temperature around the child, and importantly, you're going to get a reminder when the child has been buckled in this car seat for more than 2 hours. And that's true whether you're using it in the vehicle or you're using it as a stroller. If the child is buckled and fully harnessed, you're going to get that reminder notification at 2 hours that it's a good idea to get out of the car seat and to take a stretch and a break. Obviously, all of these products come with that integrated stroller frame, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the base, but from this view, you can see that integrated anti-rebound design on the base. So here's another view of the base. It has a 5-position adjustable recline foot. There is a bubble level, and it's up at the top of that anti-rebound area, so you can see that at the top of this image. We do have push-on upgraded lower anchor connectors for the product, again, at all of the tiers. And we have the Lock Strong belt tensioner. This is a name that might sound familiar. It's consistent with our Revolve products. So we're trying to bring some consistency to some of these key features that you're seeing on a lot of our Evenflo products. The Lock Strong belt tensioner is what it says that it is. It tensions that belt, whether it's the lower anchor belt or the vehicle seat belt. It's designed to get you that snug installation without a lot of effort. However, it is not a lock off. So you do, if you're using that seatbelt installation, you will still need to have a locked vehicle seatbelt. And we know in most vehicles, that means you're going to end up switching the retractor after you have closed the belt tensioner. You can see in this image, we also have these wheel wells. The wheel wells are designed really to keep dirt and muck off the back seat of the vehicle. They come with the product out of the box. They are optional. You don't have to add them to the base if you don't want to, but they're there to keep that dirt and grime off the back of the vehicle seat. And I said we'd come back to my tiny babies because this is really super important to me. And it was something that we worked really hard as a team to figure out how to do this and how to do this the right way. So you'll see first and foremost, we have an infant insert, and there is a label on the infant insert. The infant insert is required for infants between 3 and 6 pounds. And we state that right there on the label. After 6 pounds, it's completely optional. And that's, we like to try to make these things as optional as possible. So families have it, it's there for comfort and fit if they need it, and they can remove it when they no longer need it. In this case, having done a lot of work with these small babies, we felt like, especially because we worked really hard with our soft goods design team, we changed the design of this infant insert throughout this process as we were fitting babies in the seat. So we felt like for those really small infants, we wanted to keep them in the product with that infant insert. And that's why you see that requirement from 3 to 6 pounds. Otherwise, comfort, fit, if the baby seems like they're getting squished, by all means, they can take that insert out once they're over 6 pounds. Additionally, we provided a full checklist for premature or low birth weight infant use in our product instructions, and that's what you see on the screen here. This is all information that we know as technicians, and it's true for all infants, but especially working with these really tiny infants, we wanted to make sure that families understood how the product and specifically how the harness needed to fit that child. So number one, the infant insert is required from 3 to 6 pounds. We want that harness to be positioned at or below the shoulder. So we want to make sure that the harness fits the right way. And if it's above the shoulder, maybe this isn't the right time or the right fit for this infant in this moment. So we wanted to include that. There's no gap between the infant and the buckle, and we give some information about what you can do if there is a gap. We want to make sure the chest clip is positioned at armpit level, and a reminder that you might need to remove those harness covers, which are optional. You can remove those harness covers to make sure you get that correct fit at the chest clip. The harness needs to be snug, and importantly, that bottom bullet, the infant's clinical team needs to approve of the use and fit of this product. We've already, and for a long time, have provided information about the American Academy of Pediatrics, their recommendations for travel with small infants, and the angle tolerance testing recommendations. So we already have that in our book, and we also reference that on this page as well. So we do have a couple of ways that you can help adjust this product to fit those really tiny riders. First, if you're familiar with Evenflo products, we often have a harness system where at the splitter plate, you can adjust the length of the harness. So there's a pocket at the bottom, and we're calling that the bottom loop in this image over here. Or there's a taller pocket above that where you can adjust and place the splitter plate in this upper pocket to shorten the overall harness length. And we call that the top loop in that image. This product is going to ship in the bottom loop, the longest setting. We think this is going to be completely fine for most average size infants, and really when I was doing small baby fits, it was completely fine for most of the really small infants we were working with too. However, if you're working with a small infant and you find you can't get that harness fully snug, you do have the option to go back behind that splitter plate and shorten the overall harness length, so that should help with that fit. We also have 3 buckle positions. That's 3 slots in the plastic and 3 slots in the fabric soft goods. And we do allow J-route buckle shortening. So when you loop the buckle to make that buckle itself just a little bit shorter. I did do that for most of the small babies that I fit in the seat as well. Additionally, we have some waist strap adjustments. Again, this is going to ship in the widest position because that's what we think most average size newborns are going to use for the life of this product. So for most families, they'll never need to adjust that waist or do anything with that adjustment. However, if you're working with a smaller infant to start, we do have this alternate routing where you can bring in that waist to make it a little bit more narrow to better fit that small infant. Again, none of that is required. It's there for fit and to help adjust the fit for that smaller infant. The wheel wells I mentioned earlier, so these come out of the box with the product. They are not attached to the product when they come out of the box, and they are optional. So you can install them. They are handed, which means one goes on the left side, one goes on the right side. And when we do the live demo, I'll show you underneath it is labeled L or R for left and right. One of the really cool and unique things about this product is you can actually remove the carrier from the base without the stroller frame attached. So you can use it just as a traditional infant carrier. And that's what you see kind of in the center of the screen here, leaving the wheels inside the base. Over on the right-hand side, you can see kind of the purpose of those wheel wells, keeping those mucky wheels off the back seat of your vehicle. But I think this configuration in particular can be really helpful if you're one of our friends in very cold Minnesota and you want to be able to take that infant car seat into your house at night so that when you put baby back in the next morning to go wherever you need to go, it's not such a cold shock to the baby from sitting in the car overnight. You're able to just pop off that infant carrier and bring just the carrier into your house, leaving behind those wheels so you don't need to bring that stroller frame into the house where you would, potentially be getting the floors dirty. An important thing to understand though, the carrier connects to the base the way that you see here on the screen. So the wheels will always be associated with the base. You cannot remove the carrier from the wheels except by positioning it on the base. And the carrier cannot connect to the base without the wheels there. So that's all one system that is always together. A couple of other things, and this will make a lot more sense once we do the live demo, but I want to walk you through it now. There's 2 different release handles on this product, and both release handles do 2 different things. So first and foremost, when the product is on the base and you want to remove it from the base, there's two different ways you can do that. If you squeeze this upper release handle, which is right here and attached to the infant car seat shell, when you squeeze that, you're able to remove from the base without the stroller frame attached. When you squeeze the lower release handle down here, you're able to remove the whole carrier and stroller frame as one system. So one of the ways that we have described this kind of internally to help folks understand how this works is think about what you want to use and use the handle that's closest to that. So the upper handle is on the infant carrier. It's closest to the infant carrier. If all I want is the infant carrier, I'm going to use that upper handle. The lower handle, if you follow, the handle is right here, but if you follow along that plastic, it's actually on the stroller frame. So if I want the wheels and I want to take the whole stroller as a system out, then I'm going to squeeze that lower handle. And I said they do two things, so this is the second thing that it does. Both of those handles help with the stroller fold and unfold of the wheels. So when I took that whole unit off of the base with the infant carrier and the stroller frame attached, and I want to deploy and unfold the wheels, I'm going to squeeze the upper release handle. Then when I want to put this whole unit back in the vehicle and I want to fold those wheels down, I'm going to squeeze the lower release handle to store the wheels. Again, I'll go through all of this in a live demo, so I think that'll make a little bit more sense once you see it live. This product does come with a cup holder, which is a little unique because most times we don't put a cup holder for an infant, but this is obviously for the adult because this is also a stroller. So we want to make sure the adult has that cup holder for stroller mode. It should not be used in the vehicle. It needs to be removed from the product. And another, the base installation is pretty basic. I'll go through that in the live demo, but in terms of what I was giving to you in the slides, I wanted to cover the baseless installation because that is actually pretty unique. Because we can remove the infant carrier with or without the wheels, you can install this product baseless with or without the wheels, whatever you need in that moment or whatever that family wants to work with. We do allow European belt routing. We have a European shoulder belt routing guide behind the back of that carrier. So this is our preferred method of installation. But if for whatever reason, if you don't have enough seatbelt length, if this is not what that family feels comfortable doing, you can use that standard baseless infant car seat belt routing as well. You may also use a rolled towel or pool noodle to help adjust the recline, and I'll show you on the product where the level line is when you're doing this baseless installation too. But what I want you to know is over here, when we add in the wheels and you're installing this as that infant carrier with the stroller frame attached, we do have one little unique piece, which is we're going to remove the wheels that are actually the rear wheels that would be positioned up here, and we're going to put them underneath the infant carrier. So I want to walk you through that and kind of the why behind that. So this is what it looks like on an actual product. This wheel is over here right now, up in this upper left corner, if you can see my cursor. Inside the center of the wheel is like this little white button. You push in, and that's how you're able to remove the wheel from the axle. And then you're going to place the wheel in this opening on the bottom of the car seat. So you place it in, you'll know it's in, it clicks into place. The only way you can remove it once you've done that is to push in on the white button and actually pull it down to remove it. And the reason we did this, and you can see it like here in the middle, this is both of the wheels in that position underneath the shell. And this is that car seat, a close-up of it sitting in the right position in vehicle. The reason we did this is like twofold. Number one, if you look at where that wheel would have been positioned against the back of the vehicle seat, it makes the carrier a little bit wider, and it also pushes it away from the vehicle seat back a little bit and it's wheels right there up against the vehicle seat back. So think about any time you've ever done a baseless infant car seat installation, and as you're tightening that belt to get that secure installation, the foot of that infant car seat, where the baby's feet would be, is often being pulled down towards the vehicle seat bite, and that's changing the back angle of the infant car seat, and then you're doing the shimmy, 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 trying to get the infant seat back into that appropriate recline. It's just kind of how it happens because you don't have that stable platform of a base underneath the infant seat. What we found with this product is with the wheels right there too, they kind of exacerbate the I want to pull down towards that seat bite situation. So when we thought through this and when we removed the wheels and placed them underneath the carrier, it gives you a really stable platform for doing this installation. So now where in any other infant car seat where you're trying to make it tight and it's kind of pulling down, because we have these wheels kind of giving you a platform underneath, it's acting like that pool noodle or the rolled towel that you might be using just to fill in that gap. Now you've got something right there that's kind of filling in that gap and helping you get that nice solid installation. This is what it looks like in vehicle. No judgment for, I have 2 young kids. There's a lot of baseball and soccer in the back seat of my car, but this was just to give you an idea. This is in a Subaru Forester, so that European belt routing, again, that's our preferred method. But if you don't have enough seatbelt length to do that, or for whatever reason you don't want to use that belt routing option, it's not required. Other bits of information that's always useful, the carry handle. There are 3 locked positions. Number 1 is that forward towards the baby's feet, and that's what you would use in stroller mode as well. Number 2 is your upright for infant carry, and number 3 back behind the car seat is going to be the storage position. In the United States, we can have this in any of those locked positions when you're using it in vehicle. In Canada, you may use position number 1, that forward towards the vehicle or towards the baby's feet position. That's the only position that's available in Canada.
Sarah, I'm going to jump in real quick. So initially that's what we had planned. But now for Canada, you can use either the straight up and down position or the stroller position.
Yay, Canada. If any of our friends in Canada are on the line, you get 2 options now. That's exciting.
Yes.
So 2 options instead of just 1. Not all 3 though, Canada. You don't get the 3rd. But the seat in Canada, and we'll talk more. I saw that there were some questions coming out about pricing too. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. But for my friends in Canada, if anybody is on the line, it's going to be available in May. So we still have a couple months before you're going to start to see this. The next feature I wanted to talk about for just a minute is our carry-all storage bag. Now, I said before, everything that we talked about applied to all versions of this product. This is the one thing that doesn't apply to everything. So this comes on 2 of our different tiers, so it's available on some, but not all of the models. We'll go through that in just a minute, but it's designed to just give you some space where if you're gonna be out and about strolling around with your infant and you need to have diapers or wipes or something with you, you can store 7 pounds of stuff in this bag, and then you can remove it and put that in your vehicle when you're going on about your business. So this does attach, and I'll show you that in that live demo. It may not stay attached when you fold the product or when the product is being used in the vehicle. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. It's going to get in the way when you're doing any of those things, but you can't use it, which is important to say. Here's some of those specs. I thought I saw some people asking about some dimensions and things too. So here's some of that information as well. The lowest harness height, if we have the insert in place, is at about 4.5 inches. If you take out that insert, it's at about 5 inches. Our tallest is 11.5 inches. And then again, we have 3 different buckle positions. So you can see those measurements there as well. I saw some folks asking about the product weight. Yeah, when this is all together, this is not lightweight. There is a lot going on with this, but that's one of the cool things about being able to remove just the infant carrier. So if you do need to just move baby for whatever reason from point A to point B, and you're not going to be using that stroller, you have a lighter weight carrier that's about 9 pounds. So it's not too heavy then. When you add in the stroller wheels, it goes up to 19 pounds. There's a lot going on with stroller mechanism, but then you have the benefit of the wheels to be pushing along and making that a little bit easier. If you've got everything together, so over here, you lift it up on the base with all of the components, it weighs about 29 pounds. So there's a lot going on when it's all connected to the base. We do have a 6-year expiration from the date of manufacture. You can find a label on the base as well as a label on the carrier with that information. And then again, here's some just kind of dimensional information for you. You will get this in the email tomorrow. So you can always download this. You don't have to try to write these numbers down now. I wanted to do just a quick little comparison. So we've had the Evenflo LightMax out on the market for, a pretty long time. So if you've ever worked with the LightMax before, I wanted to do a little bit of comparison in my vehicle between the Dualride and the LightMax so you could kind of see what that vehicle footprint looks like. I did the comparison, in the foreground here, you've got the Dualride. Back here is the LightMax DLX, which is the version of the base that has the load leg. So you can see that load leg down there. And then on the right-hand side, you can see it with the product attached. Obviously, without the product, the base for the Dualride pretty much sits on my vehicle seat. We do follow the 80-20 guidance from the curriculum. So you want at least 80% of the footprint of this base to be supported by that vehicle seat. I tried to take some close-up pictures of, how much actual front to back space are we taking up, how much space is there between the passenger or the driver's side vehicle. This was well more than the 1.5 inches of clearance that we require and was roughly equivalent for both of these products. So on the left, you can see the Dualride in the foreground, and on the right, you can see the LightMax DLX. We will be shipping this with a quick start guide. We want consumers to feel supported. We want them to have the information that they need for this product right out of the box because it is something that looks and feels a little bit different than other infant car seats. So this is a trilingual brochure that gives them everything that they need to know about how to use that product immediately. Additionally, what you don't see on screen, it has a QR code that takes the user to our how-to and installation videos. We have installation videos for every mode of use and a lot of how-to content, including how to use and set up this car seat for a low birth weight infant. All of those adjustments we talked about earlier, we included in a how-to video to help the consumer understand how to make those adjustments and why and when they would make those adjustments. We also did how to remove, clean, and replace the soft goods because we know messes happen and we want the consumer to feel like they can do that easily and not be worried about whether they did it the right way. We also did an unboxing because this product comes with a lot of additional accessories and we wanted the consumer to understand what all of these components were, from the wheel wells to that cup holder, the accessory bag if the product comes with that accessory bag. We wanted to walk them through each of those pieces as they come out of the box. So again, they know how to set up their car seat for their first use. So here's the tiers. As we talked about, there's 3 different tiers. This is the first. So this is the opening price point for the Shyft Dualride. You can see that on the left-hand side. There are 3 fashions. This version is going to be exclusive to Walmart, should be in store and online in April-ish timeframe. So we should be seeing it pretty soon.
End of March, yes.
And yeah, end of March, early April. So you should be seeing it very soon. And again, you've got these 3 fashions here available. This one does not come with the accessory bag. So that's an important call out. So this comes with exactly what you see on screen, which is all of those features we've talked about, including sensor safe, but just doesn't have that accessory storage bag.
And it also comes with the cup holder as well.
Right.
Yep.
So the next price point up comes with the carry-all storage bag. So you get that additional bag. You get all of the other features we've talked about, and we've made some aesthetic changes. We've got some different fashions that you can see here. It has a leatherette insert handle. So the handle is a little bit upgraded there for that stroller use. And this one comes in at a slightly higher price point. This one also has buckle pockets in that soft goods cover. So you have that as well. So just a few updates there. And then this one is going to be available at Target and Amazon. Again, you should be seeing this by April timeframe. You'll see it in store, you'll see it online. It'll be all over the place there.
And it's currently available for pre-order on evenflo.com.
Correct. And then we have the gold version of this product. So that one comes in at the highest price point and has some additional upgrades and features as well. So this has are gold premium fabrics, and you've seen this across other Evenflo gold products. So we're keeping some really similar fashions here with the products that we've done before. This also has magnetic buckle tongue holders, has a fully wrapped vegan leather handle. So you can see that upgrade there on that handle. Comes with that carry-all storage bag, which also has some leather trim to it. And then also has an extended canopy. So you can unzip a panel on this canopy to open it up a little bit wider to have more sun coverage there for that infant. And it also gives you like a little mesh with a little airflow there in the canopy as well. So this one is a little bit later to come, but mid-April to early May, you'll be able to see the gold version as well. This is your full lineup of this product. So just some of the key specs, and then as well as I wanted to include the price points here for you and some of those key features so you can see the differences. The one thing that I didn't talk about is that under the warranty, we have our typical warranty, which we use for all of our car seats. The gold products, just like we've done in the past, all have a lifetime warranty. So that lifetime warranty also includes a crash replacement program, and that's part of that gold system that we've had in the past before. So that's the full lineup. Again, this will be in the slides that you can download. And now, before we get into live demo, I wanted to go ahead and pause for a minute and see if Petra, are there any questions that we want to cover now before we get into the demo?
So, Sarah, I'm going to lump them. Allison had been doing an amazing job answering them all. But we had some questions, and you may do some of this for the demo about the J routing. Is it available for other seats and so on? And then also, as far as installation, how does it fit in the vehicle? Is it too bulky? And then the last question was how far off the ground in the stroll mode it is. You know, yeah, I think when you talk about the installation, I think all of these can be addressed unless you want to do it now.
Yeah, well, I'll talk about J routing now. That is something that we do with a lot of our infant car seats. So I think if there's a specific product that you're looking for, let me know and I can tell you if it's not allowed. But most of our infant car seats allow that. Some of our convertible car seats allow it too. So happy to answer those questions. You all have my email address because that's what comes with this Zoom meeting. So feel free to email me directly if you have questions about any specific product. It's always incorporated into our product instructions. So if it is allowed, you will find that information in the product instructions. Okay, now I don't remember any of the other questions you just asked, so I'm going to go ahead and do the live demo. And if I didn't address any of those questions, just yell and let me know.
Sarah, one of the questions, actually, I think Shane would be able to answer is they would like to know how far the carrier is from the floor. So what's that height from floor to like to the carrier? Shane, I believe you have that measurement. But...
Are you talking about while it's on the stroller?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do have that measurement.
And then for the overall height, it's 42 inches with the handle extended. Others in this space, they're 39 inches with total height with the handle extended.
All right, so I'm going to come back here and start the live demo. So here's our product back here. If I turn it around, I want to start with how to remove it from the base. So these are those two release handles that I was talking about earlier. Your upper release handle is on the infant carrier itself. The lower release handle is down here on the stroller frame. Excuse me. So if I squeeze the upper handle, I can take off the product and you can see just that infant carrier. So this is that, you know, about 9 pounds or so, just holding the infant carrier. This is the gold version. So that's our white and black shell on that gold model. If I put it back on, and you can see here, stroller frame still stays attached to the base. And remember, carrier by itself cannot attach to the base without this stroller frame. So the stroller frame and this, that's all a unit together. So then when I'm connected to the base and I want to take the whole thing off with the wheels, I can squeeze and lift, and now I've got the whole system here that I can use for a stroller. I'm going to set that to the side. I know everybody wants to see the stroller stuff, but I'm going to show you the installation first. Around. So for the base, again, I said we had premium push-on connectors. So we do have those push-on lower anchor connectors down here. I'm not going to do the lower anchor install because I think that really is very basic. It's, you know, not anything out of the ordinary happening there. That's the storage position for each of those lower anchor connectors. Here's your recline foot. So we do have that 5-position adjustable foot. And then here is your level indicator. You can't see my bubble right now because I'm way out of the level, but the bubble for that level indicator stays in the blue zone. It's not weight restricted. It's just put the bubble in the blue zone. So then if we do the installation here with our seatbelt, this is your Lock Strong belt tensioner. We're going to open that arm. We'll route our belt. This base, you can see right here, I don't have the wheel wells attached, just for ease of showing this to you. So you can always attach them if you want to have them attached. How did I get this all twisted? We're going to start that over again, friends. There we go. So for my belt, I've got, you know, that fun little button right here that we find on some vehicle seat belts. You really don't need to take a whole lot of slack out. So I've biased my base a little bit to this side just to clear out that little button there. But you didn't see me push or pull or do anything crazy. I'm just going to close the belt tensioner. There is a red-green indicator right here. So if I swing this down, you can see that we're in the green right here. It would be red if we had not fully closed. So we try to give the consumer a little bit of confirmation there that they've indeed closed and secured that belt tensioner. And then we would pull out over here and lock our retractor. So we've got a nice secure installation, not a lot of effort, pretty simple to do there. I'm going to go ahead and undo that because I want to be able to show you the baseless installs too. But before we do baseless installs, I'll pull this out of the way and show you. Here is our seat. So now if we wanted to go into stroller mode, we remove from the base with the wheels attached. Remember, we go back to, we have 2 different release handles back here. To release the wheels, we're going to use that upper handle and squeeze. And now we've got the stroller wheels unfolded so we can use this in stroller mode. There are 2 brakes right here. They're engaged right now. So to disengage them, I'm just going to lift up. So now I can move it around. You can use it in this mode like this if you wanted to just have the handle height in this position and walk with that stroller right next to you. That's an option. Or more traditionally, you would pull that handle forward to the stroller position and then push the button in the center of the handle to rotate and extend that handle for stroller mode. So that's stroller mode here. Right now, if I wanted to move that handle, when it's extended, I can't rotate it. So you're not able to rotate the handle while it's extended in this outward position. I need to collapse that handle to the lowest position before it's going to unlock and let me rotate back. Similarly, if I push this button now, my canopy, if I push this button now, I can't extend the handle except when I'm in that forward position. So we put some locks in there so that the consumer doesn't misuse the product. So that's that piece. While we're up in this mode, I'll show you some of these harness pieces here. So you've got sensor safe down here. We've got our infant insert. This is your CFA tail. We actually, it's hard to see there, but we have a little rubber band around the end of the CFA, which is that, you know, the central front adjuster. It's that tail that you're pulling to make the harness snug on the infant. We have this little extra piece of elastic right here. So that way, when it's nice and snug, it's not hanging down and getting in your way while you're using this as a stroller. So you can just roll up that tail and place the elastic around the excess. For now, I'm going to loosen the harness a little bit so that way I can show you. Your harness covers are, Velcroed, so you can take it on and off. Again, harness covers totally optional. Your headrests adjust down and then up. And when it adjusts up, it goes fairly high. Remembering we want at least an inch over the top of baby's head. So you want at least an inch of that headrest over the top of the baby's head, but this gives you a lot of room for growth as that infant gets older. We also have magnetic buckle tongue holders right here. So I mentioned in that mid-tier, excuse me, we have buckle pockets for that, the buckle tongues. Here we have magnetic buckle tongue holders just to open up that harness, making it easier to get baby in and out of that car seat. We have a label on the side of the seat because we're really excited about the 3 to 35 pounds. So a little reminder of what that weight rating is for this product here. I think that was it. Again, you've got your infant insert, optional over 6 pounds, required from 3 to 6 pounds right here. This is your canopy. And you can extend out that canopy too. So this is that gold version with the extended canopy. To fold the stroller, because I want to be able to show you the baseless installation. So to fold the stroller, we're going to come back around. You've got your upper release handle and the lower release handle. I'm going to squeeze the lower release handle and just rotate it back. And now we're back ready to go into the vehicle, whether we're going on the base or we're going to install it without the base. When it's sitting on the ground here, one thing to note, we want it to sit back on this back portion of the frame of that stroller. If you sit it forward so that it's sitting, on these wheels right here, it puts the baby way more upright. So we'd like baby to stay back in this position if you're just going to set the seat down on the ground for a minute. So now I'm going to show you the baseless install, and then y'all can interrupt me if there's any questions to cover right now. So for baseless, remember I said if we're going to do this baseless install and we're going to do this with the wheels attached, we're going to remove this wheel and on each side to place underneath the shell of that car seat. One of the things I want to make sure is clear, I think if you're doing a lot of rideshare, if this is how you're going to be using this product, you're going to need to do this. But I think you can do this, right when the vehicle gets there. It's once you've done it once, pretty easy to understand where to pop it out and how to pop it back in underneath there. Doesn't take a whole lot of effort to do. You could also do it while you're waiting for the ride share to show up. So because you can obviously, you don't have to roll to the vehicle. You can always still just pick this up and carry it too. So you can get that done before the vehicle arrives. I'm going to show it to you first up close so that you can see what I'm taking off. But that means I'm going to kind of be dumping the product upside down because I want you to really visually see where those holes are underneath the base. And then I'll show it to you how I think most people could get it done while it's sitting right here on the floor. So I'm going to move my vehicle seat a little closer. So inside the center of that wheel, we've got this little white button. You're going to push in and pull out. So this wheel just pops right off. I see it's removed from the axle right there. And then this is where I'm going to dump baby upside down to show you. You've got a hole underneath. There's one there and there's one here. So you're just going to place this in and it clicks in. So now I can't remove this unless I actually push this button in to remove. So that's how you would make that change. I think when you're sitting with it on the ground, bring it this way so you can see. If I'm sitting here with baby actually in the seat and I remove that wheel, I can just tilt this back a little bit and set it in that right position, just lifting that seat up a little bit to get the wheel underneath and in that opening. I just wanted you guys to see exactly where that opening was. So now we're set up to use in the vehicle. So then we can pick up that car seat and place it on our vehicle seat. We have belt guides going across the front of the carrier. So if for whatever reason, if you weren't going to use that European belt routing option, if you don't have enough seatbelt for it, family's not comfortable with it, whatever's going on, this standard routing is definitely an option. You would switch over your retractor. You would make sure this was nice and snug, but you can see the belt guides there. But our preference is that you use that European belt routing, bringing the shoulder belt all the way around. So I'm going to pull all that belt webbing out, but notice, I know I can do this because I've done it on this seat a lot, but it looks like, oh gosh, it's not going to work, right? If you've never done this before, if you tip up the infant seat just a little bit, then you're able, and I'll turn it around so you can see, you're able to just slide everything into position where it belongs. Then I definitely have enough belt for it. And now I can kind of reposition that base a little bit so that we're in the correct recline position. It's already very snug. I haven't done any tightening of the product at this point, and we've already got a really nice snug install. This is your preference because now we've got this locked shoulder belt going around the back of the carrier, and in a crash, that's going to provide some additional benefit too in terms of how this product is going to interact with those crash forces. So that's your baseless installation. We do have a level line. It's right here in blue on the label. So if you're using this without the base, which obviously had that bubble level, you've got a line on the label that you're working to level towards. I'm gonna take a sip of water for a minute. Are there any questions we can cover?
So Sarah, earlier we talked about questions that we had. How is the fit in the vehicle seat? Is it bulky towards like the driver and the passenger seat and so on? What is the spacing on this? What do you have it?
So that's where I pulled out those pictures, what I did with both the LiteMax in the seat and Dualride, and it's pretty comparable to the space that LiteMax takes up. So I don't think it's, huge overall, but, it's always important to test fit in vehicles. If you've got a really, really tiny vehicle, I don't know if it'll be a good fit or not. I know we've done a lot of vehicle fit with this product as it's been a prototype and gone through our development process. I don't know that there's any specific vehicles that we had a ton of issues with. So like most other infant seats, should probably fit fine.
Yes, and a lot of questions, and we had this question yesterday, with the headrest extended over the seat, how does the canopy fit? That seems to be a common question.
So yeah, because that headrest comes out a good bit. This canopy, it's really hard to show on camera, but it's super stretchy fabric. So you can stretch over and around that headrest even because look, I can stick my hand out here. I think that's the best way to show it to you. Like if I can stick my hand like this, you can stretch around that. Whether it's going to be comfortable, I think is going to depend on, how much space you have for that child right there. But it's definitely stretchable enough that you can do that.
Okay, and there Brittany is asking, is the line level with the ground in the stroller mode? Also, when performing an angle tolerance test in the NICU, does it matter if it's leveled with or without the wheels for the duration of that test?
So I think speaking to the angle tolerance test first, you should always use it with the line level to the ground because that is your appropriate recline in the vehicle. So if you're doing that kind of test, but you're just sitting on the floor, it's important that you're using it at the recline and incline that you would be using in the vehicle. When we use this in stroller mode, that's the thing with a product like this. We don't just have to pass car seat testing now. Now we have to pass both car seat testing and stroller testing. And there's a lot of requirements between those two products. So it is definitely at the correct recline for what we want it to be when you're using it as a stroller, as well as then when you place it in the vehicle and you're leveling out the bubble that would be on our base, or you're using that recline line that we have like this, you want to make sure you're using it that way because then we know you're using it at the correct recline as well.
Somebody else is wondering about 3 across.
So we're at just under 19 inches wide total. So definitely not the most slim thing on the planet. So I think it's just going to depend on your back seat, what other seats or car seats or what other people you need to be putting in the back seat of that vehicle. And it might be I need to test this out first, but you'll see that on our product spec page, we're at, I think, like 18.8 inches at the widest point.
Okay, and Brittany had a follow-up question, if there is a preference to have it with the wheels for the NICU tolerance test or without the wheels.
I mean, speaking as from somebody with some experience going into the NICUs, we always tested with the wheels on, just because it was a lot easier to bring it into the NICU on the wheels, to move it around between the kiddos that we were visiting when we were visiting with our NICU friends. And then again, just make sure when you set it down, your level line is level and you're sitting it back and not forward on top of like the wheel portion.
Okay, and then can it be used without the base in the vehicle, without the wheels?
Yes, so that was that image that I showed you in the PowerPoint. You can install it like this with the wheels on, like without that base. Or if you remove the carrier from the base without the wheels, you can certainly install the carrier by itself. Again, this belt routing, the European belt routing, would be our preference in that situation. And when I said we have installation videos, we did installation videos for every mode, including installing it like this or installing it as just the carrier without the wheels.
Now, Sarah, we had questions about the how much the seat hangs over the vehicle seat yesterday as well. Can you please go over that again, because we had a couple of questions about that as well.
Yep, so you can see here, again, this is our baseless installation, and we're mostly almost 100% supported. I think there's just a tiny little bit over here that's not making contact with the vehicle seat. We would follow the 80-20 guidance from the technician curriculum. So as long as you've got 80% of either this infant carrier or the base, if you're attached to the base, as long as you've got 80% supported, then you're good to go. And you saw in the images that I shared from the fit in my vehicle, which is a Subaru Forester, when I had just the base, it was 100% supported by my vehicle seat. So remember, when you're trying to judge that, like this part up here doesn't matter. So other pieces like overhanging the edge of the vehicle seat, that doesn't matter. What we're talking about when we talk about overhang is the part that's actually meant to be in contact with that vehicle seat. That's where you're judging to see, am I overhanging the vehicle seat or not?
Okay, so it says there are a couple of questions. So can the carrier be removed without the from the wheels if the wheels are not in the base?
No. So let me uninstall this and show you this. And this might, I'm looking at the time now, so we just have a couple minutes left. So this might be one of the last ones. But I'll take this out. Now we need to still move our wheels. So we'll pop this out. I'm going to go ahead and, deploy the wheels again. If we just got to wherever it was we were going, now we're ready to go. I'm going to grab my base again, just for demonstration purposes. When we're like this, so we are in stroller mode right now, you cannot remove this carrier from the wheels like this right now. The only way you can get the carrier off by itself is to fold those wheels and then place everything back on your base. Once we've placed it all back on the base, then I can squeeze and remove just the carrier. Hope that helped.
I feel like that was a great demonstration, because I think it answered a couple of questions in the chat. And also, are there additional bases available?
Not at this time. So right now there's not an additional base available. You can get the whole system, which is base, wheels, and infant car seat all together as one unit.
Okay. I think we are pretty good. You guys did an amazing job with this product, I have to say. And Allison and Shane, thank you so much for being here. And Sarah, this is awesome. Thank you for making me a part of this. We do have a lot of fun with these.